Hey everyone, my name is Riley and I am the Next Gen Director here at FCC, and today I get the honor of sharing with you one of my favorite passages. It's something that God's placed in my heart over the last couple weeks. You know, in our youth ministry for this past month, we've been talking about this idea of value, and that we're known by God and that we're created on purpose for a purpose. And I was thinking about that, and I said, well, you know, I should probably share it with our entire church family. You know, oftentimes in life, I don't know if you're the same as me, it's easy to become overwhelmed with so much stress, right? We can become overwhelmed with stress and chaos, and we can lose focus on what's really important. You know, oftentimes we can just sit here and we can become so overwhelmed with everything going on around us that we have to take a moment to step back, to refocus, and to reposition ourselves and saying, I know God has this under control. As a kid, I was so fascinated by the fact that God created me. That just didn't seem real to me. Like, it just didn't really make sense. I said, why would God create me? And it was something I really had to work through, and the fact that God created me on purpose, for a purpose. You know, in Psalm 139, David is writing almost the same thing. He's sitting here in adoration, this praise that God created him so intricately. You know, that God created him for a purpose. And that's what he says in Psalm 139, verse 1. David writes, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in, behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there." This is one of my favorite verses. David writes, "If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light becomes night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." Verse 15, David writes, "My frame was not hidden from you. When I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book, before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I were to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I am awake, I'm still with you." You know, David paints this beautiful picture of how God created us so intricately and purposefully. You know, that you and I are created with such purpose in life, that our value is not diminished by what other people think about us. Our value isn't diminished by all the mistakes we made in life, but our value is set in our Creator. You know, I'm not good at art. Art and we're not, you know, we don't work well together. I can't really draw, but I can appreciate art because when you look at art, it's an expression of the artist. Right? When we look at art, it's an expression of what's going on in the artist's life. It's an expression of who the artist is. And friends, you and I, we're expressions of our Creator. You know, our eyes, our smile, our personalities, our laugh, they are expressions of our Creator. And David, when he was writing this, he says, God knit us together, knit us in the womb. God knit us. He formed us so intricately. He put all the parts together. None of us are a mistake. And maybe for today, you might need to hear that you are so valued. You know, you have people around you who value, but here's the thing, your Creator values you. And there's nothing in this life that can ever diminish how valued you are to God. When I was reading this, it often makes me reflect on how I don't take time to sit and thank God for who he created me to be. You know, David, when he writes, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you're there. And if I make my bed in the depths, you are there." That's so powerful to me because God doesn't leave us. You know, we can try to run as far as we want from God, right? And as we're doing that, we're running far, God's right beside us, never letting us be just completely abandoned. And that's so powerful to me. You know, David, even when he goes further, he says, "Surely the darkness will hide me and the light becomes night around me." David said, even when I try to hide from God, you know, when I'm ashamed and just fearful and sitting there alone, surrounded by darkness, he says the darkness becomes light around you. The fact that when God walks in the room, everything changes. And friends, today, I hope you know this, and I pray you know this, is that you are never alone. And that when you walk through life in the chaos of life, it might feel like darkness is surrounding you. I hope you know this. All you have to do is just pray. Is say, "God, I'm here." Because you know what? He's just waiting for that moment. Just to walk in the room, everything changes. Because to him, you're worth everything. To him, you are worth it all. One of my favorite speakers, Dan Mohler, he was speaking and he said, Jesus didn't die just to remove your sin. He said, Jesus died to remove your sin, but to expose your value. You know, he wanted to uncover all the sin, just move it away to expose your value, to say that you are so valued because at the end of the day, friends, you and I, we're created beings with infinite value. And so, friends, I hope as we go through life, as we journey through this next week, that we'll understand that we're created with value. And there's nothing in this life that can diminish, that can take away God's value on our life. So friends, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this church family. I'm glad that you are here, and I can't wait to be able to talk with you more about this idea of value.